Whanau. Oh, welcome. Kia ora whanau, welcome. My name is Tracy B and you are tuned into our Whanau Freedom event. We do this every fortnight and I tell you what, I get the butterflies every time I do this event because it comes from a place of heart for this event. We get some beautiful people all around Aoetearoa who are doing some amazing stuff within their community to help one another, and we bring them here to showcase what they're up to and to inspire others to do the same. My name is Tracy B. I'm your host for tonight, and with my co-host Miri Stacey, who is all the way from in Bluff at the moment. Together we're going to kind of collaborate and bring together some stuff around what's going on in our lives. And then we have a special guest, Maggie, who is on here tonight, who's going to be showcasing what she's up to in her little community in Whanau, which isn't far from where I'm from actually. So really stoked to have Maggie on tonight. And thanks to everybody who's here to support our event and to support Maggie with what she's up to right now. So I'm going to pass it over to my friend Miri. Now, just a little background on Miri and I and our relationship. I met Miri online a wee while ago now. And she is just one big sparkly light. I just love this woman. She's got so much passion around helping people within her community. She has this huge knowledge of food and rongoa and mindset and stuff about space. I can't remember what those flames were. You can kind of talk about that soon, you know, those flames that are out of control sometimes. If I feel like I'm having a moment of like I'm just going a little bit mental, Miri can just say, hey, you know what, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. I don't know what she does, but she taps into you, and I just love this woman, and I've been really blessed to work side by side with her with our little online business, and I haven't met her personally, which I'm totally bummed about, but I will one day. But I love this about the internet and the web, right? It spreads love, it spreads a mission and a message all over the globe, doing stuff like this, bringing people together. So anyway, I'm going to pass it over to Miri and you'll see exactly what I mean. And she's got something really cool to share with you guys tonight that's been going on in our little community in the background. She was like, you know what, I'm going to bring it to the forefront tonight, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So
I'm going to ask for a karakia first.
My girl.
Karakia first, eh?
Nearly. Oh no, karakia. Okay, let's do that. I'm so sorry. Okay, before we start our event, and I start talking about all the time, we always do a karakia because why? Because in Aotearoa, it's all about blessing the event and blessing everybody that's on it and thanking everybody for being here, and of course blessing the universe for bringing us here today. So I'm going to get you to quickly bow your head and then we'll get going. E tātou manaki te manato I tēnei pō, homai ki a mātou te kaha me te kroria, ake, amene. Thanks for reminding me, beautiful girl.
Amene, and thank you. Yes, well, I think you might have actually coined a word then, because what was it, mission? I think that's actually a new word. I'm going to use it. I don't even think it was a mistake. I think that's actually a good one. I'm going to use it. It's just like today, my wee girl goes, oh, it's quiet boring. And it's like quiet boring instead of quite boring. That actually makes sense. Yeah, so kia ora everybody. Yeah, mission on. Hannah's all about it. For those of you that don't know me, yes, Tracy B's correct. I am living in Bluff, but I also whakapapa to here, so it's actually really special for me to be standing on the whenua now to which I belong. I whakapapa to some other places as well, which lots of people who have Māori blood do, but this is where I'm meant to be, so I'm in a really good space. I actually moved here around about the time that I started getting into the whole food movement that Tracy B and I are in on as well. So it's been like this big expansion in terms of getting their health fired up, looking after the whānau and really connecting to my roots and all those things that are really important. The things I think that I knew but didn't always necessarily commit to as much as I would like to or make the time for, that's all completely been revolutionised. So I'm really happy to be part of this event. It's a good thing that's come out of this, and actually lots of good things have come out of it. Lots of development. But the other thing that comes out of it, which I love, is this really good eating plan around the whole food movement. So the one that we're following is the Juicy Body Transformation. At the moment, it's quite a few of us that have started an 8-week shred. I've got a few people following some of the stuff I've been trying out on Facebook, which was previously I did a 14-day cleanse. So yeah, there's been quite a few people asking me for smoothie recipes and the quantities and what do you do and all that. And I've always made smoothies or juices or stuff, and I just make it up as I go along. But some people really want a bit more guidance or to be shown how to do it, which I've found out. So I thought, because it's this time of the night, I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because I'd like to have something quite dessert-like now. And I thought I'll just make up my nighttime smoothie, which I'm going to share with my faithful, trusty sidekick. He's just in the bedroom, because normally I do this sitting on my bed. That's how relaxed we are. But I'm in the kitchen so that I can actually make the smoothie. So excuse the lighting, it's not ideal. But I'm going to flip it around and show you guys what I'm having for dessert tonight. And then we're going to pass it over to Maggie after that. So just bear with me while I flip my camera. Oh, can I do it on this one? Oh, yes, I can. Here it is. Here we go. So in here, I've got 1 frozen banana and some ice, because I want to make it really thick, because I want it to be more of a dessert texture than a, let me get on the right angle, than a, look at this phallus in here. I should have broken it up, hey? Nah, it makes it more interesting. So anyway, that is just to make it a lot out of the shadows. But it's a funny time. In here, I have got, oh, here's my trusty sidekick. In here, I've got some dates that I soaked, and the reason that we soak those is just to soften them up a bit so that they blend more nicely. And then I've got some chia seeds. Now, I did a video earlier in the day for those that are watching. Oh yeah, actually with Tracy B's I Love Dates comment, I should probably say why I use dates. It's not just for the sweetness. It's also because they are a low GI, slow release, and they've also got some iron in them. So I don't have too much trouble with my iron stores. But it is important to make sure that you are topping it up. And this is the same reason that I've got some of the other ingredients in there, which you'll see shortly. So with the chia seeds, today I just showed that I have pre-soaked them a little bit before I put them into my shake. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Now, chia seeds have got fibre, and they've also got lots of protein and heaps of nutrients. They are such a nutrient-dense food that you wouldn't even believe that something that size could have that much in it, because they don't look big enough. But each one, hi Jonathan, each one has actually been jam-packed with nutrients. It's a superfood. So you could just live on that alone, but I don't think that's a delicious dessert in and of itself. Personally, I'd put it with something like almond milk or coconut milk if I was going to have that just as a dessert. But I'm actually going to go all out. So the reason I've soaked them is, one, I can sort of see the consistency and texture of how much they've puffed up since I've put them in water. And also you can get a little bit dehydrated sometimes when you have heaps of chia seeds in your food. So this is just a way to hydrate them a little bit. I'm going to be flushing later with lots of lemon water because I'm on the cleanse. But some people forget to drink lots of water because they feel really full after they've had a smoothie, and they just think, oh yeah, flag it, I won't drink any water. But keep drinking those fluids, people. So the other thing I've got here is some cashew nuts. Now, normally I'd have raw cashew nuts and I would soak them, and that would be to unlock the iron. Tonight I'm a bit naughty. I've actually got roasted ones. I'm still going to gain some protein from there, but they have oxidized during that baking process, so just be aware that there's not as many nutrients there. That's okay. I had some family here and they ate a lot of different bits and pieces actually. that I would have had ready for tonight. So this is my other ingredient that I'm putting in, which is the chocolate juice plus complete. For those of you who don't know, that's my secret weapon. You probably can't read the writing, but I'll read it out. It's got things like amaranth, pomegranate, yucca, spirulina, mushroom powder, alfalfa, broccoli, radish, quinoa, all those things in this little sachet. So that's going to give me a chocolatey, creamy sort of a thing going on with all the other ingredients. But to tell you what else is really cool is that it's a soy-based product, and it's actually not the freaky kind of soy. It's low GM and non-GM and low processed, so your body can recognise it. So normally you kind of avoid soy products because they're being tampered with so much. The other thing that I've got, which I've cracked the lid on just now, is the almond milk. And again, slightly naughty because this isn't the unsweetened one, because I wasn't actually looking when I was shopping. But that's okay. I'm not going to freak out about that too much, because the beauty of sharing it all with my roller, my trusty Dylan sidekick, I'll flip it back around. The beauty of that is that I only end up with about a half a portion of everything of all of this. But it is going to be really delicious and thick and creamy. So what I will do is not put you through all the sounds of my struggling blitz to go. That's right, I need a new smoothie maker. I've just about burnt this bad boy out. I'll pass you guys over to Maggie, and I'll turn my sound off and I'll continue preparing it. And at some stage, you'll probably see me tucking into it.
Thanks, Miri. You're awesome. And yeah, we'd love to see your smoothie afterwards, please. That would be awesome. It sounds, I have to say, I'm gonna holler at you, because the chocolate vanilla shake is my absolute favorite, and with the cashews it really does taste like a chocolate thick shake. It's bomb.
See, I also add salt so that I get that salted caramel thing going on with the dates, which is a bit naughty for some people, but I'm allowed enough salt. It's Himalayan salt, it's good for me, so I don't have a problem with sodium.
Nice. So I told you, she's just a knowledge. She just knows heaps of really cool stuff. So I'm going to touch on that quickly as well. Himalayan rock salt is absolutely awesome. If you're eating iodized salt and stuff, that's so going to suck all the nutrients and the H2O out of your cells, and yeah, it's just not good for you. So if you're at the supermarket and you're looking for salt, totally avoid the iodized salt, please. I promise you, it's the pink salt is the way to go. So thanks, Miri. I want to see your shake soon. That'd be great. Now I'm going to pass it over to our guest, Maggie. Now, look, I met Maggie about 2 weeks ago. A beautiful friend of mine, Hannah, reached out and said, you know what, I've got this friend who's doing some amazing stuff with some young girls in our area. And I'm talking about 8 years old. And as we all know, some people slip through the system, unfortunately, and these young children are ones that are in need of help. And I'll tell you what, when I was having a chat with Maggie a couple of weeks ago, I nearly welted up, because I forget so much when I'm in my own world that there are out there people and young children that are suffering, and they're not feeling loved, and they're not getting the environment that they need to flourish and grow into beautiful beings. And it's really unfortunate. And so Maggie brought that all back home to me last week, why we brought this event together, because it's bringing together and showing you people in your community that are making a big fat difference to these girls' lives, or just anyone, just to one person, a group, or whatever it may be. Now, I'll let Maggie explain to you where she's from and where she's come from and how she's got to where she is, but she works for Ngāti Hou, and it's a beautiful community that she's a part of, and it's up in Whanau, so that's pretty cool. It's not far from where I'm from, in Kerikeri, so I was pretty stoked about that. And, I'm sure she's going to open your eyes to see something that, like I said before, we just don't see. Which is kind of nice, but on the other sense is like we need to see something so that we can help these young girls. So I'll pass it over to Maggie. We'll ask her a few questions. If anybody has any questions, like you're welcome to pop it in the comments section on the side. If you're on your phone, I think it's down the bottom in a chat. You can just pop a question in there, and if we've got time at the end, we'll ask questions for either Miri, myself, or Maggie. So, hi Maggie, how are you?
Hi, I'm very nervous but very excited to be here. So thank you for inviting me into this awesome space that you guys have created.
Anytime, girl. Totally stoked to have you on here. And you don't need to be nervous. We've got your back. Yeah.
Good.
Cool. So I would love for you to share, babe, like what's your background, you know, like what brought you into Ngāti Hau, and what are you doing to make an impact at the moment, like in your little crew?
Okay, cool. So those of you who don't know me, my name's Maggie Nida. I was born and raised here in Whanau. My father's family is from the Hokianga, a small place called Whanau, and my mother's family originates mostly from Scotland. So I finished high school and I wasn't quite sure what really I was going to do or what path I was going to take, and it came up in a conversation with my mum about how I always seemed to be that support person and always seemed to be looking out for other people. So she said, why not make a career out of it? And so I did. I studied a Bachelor in Social Services at North Tech, and that's where I met Hannah. So I did that for 3 years, and then on my second year I had to do a 3-month placement, and I did it at Ngāti Hau, and that was really cool. It really opened my eyes. I grew as a person, had a really awesome mentor, and it led on to employment opportunities after that, which was really cool. And then I was working there for about 6 to 8 months in one role, but then things changed, contracts changed, and I was in this place where I could kind of almost make my own role, and youth is something that I'm very passionate about. It's very close to my heart, and I feel it is kind of the best place to be doing the best preventative work that you can be doing. So I started thinking of work that I could do that could utilize my strengths, and I met an awesome social worker from another organization who said that she was working with so many families that had young girls, but they just didn't have any services or supports they could put in place for them. So we got talking, and then this idea came up, why don't we start a girls group for girls aged 8 to 12, and we'll just kind of run with it and see how it goes. And that's exactly what we did. And a year later, we're still going strong, and we're getting heaps of referrals, and we've got a waiting list, and yeah, it's very exciting stuff. So that's kind of my background and how I got here, and yeah.
That's cool. I love that, how you just kind of fell into that. But it's, you know, I'm big on the universe.
Totally.
It's clear that everything set you up for the path that you're on now, and I'd be excited to see what's for the future.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what's going on with the girls, why they how do they become eligible to come and see you, and then, you know, once they're in your circle, what kind of stuff do you do with them?
Cool. Okay, so the girls that we work with are primarily sort of classed as high risk. So they come from backgrounds of experienced family violence trauma, whether that's historic or current. So we just get referrals through, we engage with them, bring them down to the group, and it's really a mixture. Like we really focus on making the group a fun and safe place, because a lot of these girls don't have a fun and safe place in their life apart from their school. So that's what we really focus on, and really focus on building meaningful relationships with them. So spending that time to understand what they like, what they don't like, what they're into, what their goals are, you know, just kind of figuring out who these girls are. And we do a lot of, it's hard because we don't want to be too intense and talk too much about the bad stuff, but we do it in a fun kind of way where the girls can just be open and talk about their feelings and talk about what's on top, but then we make sure that whatever comes out of those conversations, that there's some supports put in place. So for example, one girl was saying that she couldn't really see very well, she couldn't hear very well. When we go to pick her up, she would just look straight past us. And so we made that follow up to make sure that she had her health check done, you know, that she had assessments done, and now we've found out that she needs to get glasses and all these hearing aids and stuff. So we definitely make sure that we look at the girls in every aspect of their life, and make sure that nothing's being overlooked by anyone, because I guess people can get very busy. But yeah, we just try and make sure that we can do that full wraparound support for the girls.
Yeah, I totally hear you. Like, as a mama myself, like, I can imagine some parents, if they've got a lot going on, it becomes overwhelming, and they're just like, I don't know what's going on, and just kind of let that go. So I love that you guys bring that support to both the kids and the family. I'm guessing, is there support for the family, or is it mostly just for the girls at the time being?
Yeah, well, like, our work is primarily with the girls, because usually the family already have like a social worker or another support attached to them, but we're not limited to just the girls. And what we've found is, throughout engaging with the girls, and once the girls start changes in their behaviors, and you know, they become more positive and have more self-esteem, the parents start reaching out to us. Like, one of our girls, I'd never even met her mum. You know, I'd rock up to pick her up and take her to group, and her mum would always be in her room, or she'd never come to the door and answer me. And now she's calling me, she's texting me, she's meeting me at the door, she's engaging with me, because she can see that her daughter's benefiting from the support that we're giving, and she wants more support too. So that's really cool when we start engaging with those people who, to start with, were kind of like, oh, who are you? We don't want your business around here, kind of thing. So that's really exciting.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that, you know, you've had that not so direct influence on the parents. And look, you're not a parent clearly, but I'm sure parents can totally get that, you know, sometimes we just need that help, and sometimes it's really hard as a parent to ask, can you take the kids? Can you do this for me? Or, you know, because we're trying to be so independent, especially as mamas.
Yeah.
So I love that that's flowed on to her mum, and you just must feel you must have days where you're just so full of love for what you're doing, yeah?
Oh, totally. I have so much passion and belief in the work that we're doing, and there's been times where, you know, I thought about having to move on to new roles, and sort of letting go of the group and letting it just progress how it is. But it's something that's so close to my heart, and I'm just so connected to on so many levels that I can't let go of it yet. You know, it's almost like I just want to run with it and just see where it goes.
Cool, love it. And so, Maggie, another question that I have is, like, there's a waiting list, clearly, and when I met you before, you know, the waiting list was getting a little bit longer, and it's getting longer all the time. So I guess my question to you is, can the department get any more help, or are you looking, like, how do you expand and, you know, kind of cater for those that are waiting?
Yeah, so we had a really cool discussion. Our team meets every Tuesday for a couple of hours, and we talk about the group and what we're doing, and what you know, what we want to do next and how we're going to go about it. And we met with a lady who has a lot of contacts within networks regarding funding and all that sort of stuff. And so the plan from now is that we're going to keep in touch with those whānau that are on the waiting list, not necessarily bringing the girls into the group, but just giving them a phone call every couple of weeks, you know, keeping in touch and making sure that we keep that engagement. But we're looking to start up another group that's slightly older, but for girls, that the girls can progress into. So once they become sort of 11, 12-ish, then we can put them into another group. And the problem with the funding is it's for 12 upwards. So because these girls are under 12, there's just no funding out there for them. So when we're applying for stuff, you know, our feedback that we get back is, oh, thanks very much for your application, but, you know, you didn't meet the criteria due to the age gap. So our plan now is to start a group of older girls and get funding for that, and then kind of grow and establish that. So then that can kind of filter into the girls lower down, and we can kind of mingle in between the two, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where we're heading in terms of growing our group. But it just comes down to, you know, the small things like the resources, the volunteers. We have so many volunteers attached to our group, and our group just would not continue without them, and we're so grateful for them. So it's just tricky because we want to grow, and we want to obviously cater to that waiting list, but we just don't quite have the capacity to do so. So it's sort of a bit of a waiting game, and you kind of need to really consider all the options that we have. But yeah, so starting a group for 11, 12-year-olds up through to 16 is kind of where we're heading into, and then hopefully that can filter down to the younger girls.
Yeah, well, it's kind of broke my heart a little bit when you said there's no funding for the younger kids. It was like, but you know, like, and what I know being a mama, like my little girl's 8, she is flourishing and she is just soaking up everything at that age. They call it the age of knowledge, and it's where they are just like, give me more, and you know, like every kid deserves that. So I hope the funding does come through. Another question I have is for anyone who's watching tonight, who's maybe in the area or maybe they're from another area, is, you know, how can they reach out and offer, you know, volunteer to do stuff for you, or maybe start something in their community? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so I mean, for us, it was super easy to establish this group purely because there was a need. Our group is really simple. What we do is we provide pickups, we provide kai, and we provide drop-offs. So we pick up the girls, we bring them down to the space, we say karakia, have our kai, do our activity, close, and then away we go. But I think the key for anyone who is thinking of starting up a group is consistency and structure. Those are the two things that we have noticed that our girls really thrive on. So we've only, in the year that we've been running this group for, we've only missed 1 week, which was due to just we weren't around to run it. We just didn't have the manpower. But each week, you know, we're out there, we're getting our girls, if they're not at school, we're driving to their houses to pick them up. If they didn't go to school, then, you know, that's obviously not our concern. Well, it is our concern, but it's not our problem. You know, we don't consider the group as, we try to work with the parents to make sure that the group isn't seen as something that they can use sort of, you know, as punishment when the girls are naughty. We want it because we still want to be able, you know, if they're not going to school, we still want to be able to bring them to group and provide some learning that they can still get through us. So yeah, consistency, and just look for a need. Just go to into your social services in your area and just say, I'm looking for gaps in services that you guys need, because that's what we did. You know, we asked around, where's the need, and it's for children. And so we just kind of went from there, and and just be committed to them and provide structure. So when they come to group, they know what's happening. They know that they need to wash their hands before they eat. They know that they can't eat until karakia has been said. It's just little things like that that provide that safety and really make the girls flourish.
It sounds awesome. Like, I'm really happy for you and so proud of the work that you're doing, Maggie. Like, seriously, it's it must make you feel so happy inside, and to make a difference in those girls' lives. I want to share a little story for me. I thought I had a stink upbringing, but I was being a, you know, if I look back now, I was very blessed. But there was one lady in my life who made the difference for me. And I see that in you for these young girls, you know, growing up, they're going to be like, I remember that lady Maggie, or I remember that, you know, the group we used to go to, because that woman gave me foundation. My family did, but, you know, I didn't want to listen to that. But I know for me that one woman, she showed me more, and I never forget, you know, a lot of the stuff that I learned going through my life was from her, just giving me foundation and strategies as well. I think it's really important, and consistency. So really, really happy for you, honey. And if anyone wants to reach out to Maggie, or, you know, like she said, go to your local area and find out where the niche is, where you can put a group together and do something like this, do it. You know, I had a conversation with my dad a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the government in New Zealand, and everyone's blaming the government for all, you know, we're blaming the government. Instead of blaming the government, actually stand up and do it yourself sometimes. You know, you can't rely on the government to do everything. And I think that's why these support groups are super important, because if you're going to be waiting for the government, then nothing's going to change. And so it's people like Maggie and her little crew that are making a difference. And really, like, it just sounds really beautiful, Maggie. Do you have any last words or anything to say before we, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing, the hardest thing I've found with this girls group is trying to fight that ignorance, and that, you know, not everyone accepts that there's people struggling, and not everyone accepts that there's children that are going home that aren't getting dinner, that don't have a bed to sleep in. So, you know, just, you don't have to try and fix it, you don't have to try and solve it, but just accept that it's there and try and support them in any way that you can, you know, and just open your eyes and realize that there are kids out there that, you know, when they have a bad upbringing and they don't have those supports that people take for granted, of course they're not going to turn out like amazing members of in the community, you know. So it's just about you know, being kind and being open-minded, and rather than judging or hating on somebody, kind of think, why are they like that and how can I support them to be better? I guess that's just my final message for anybody out there.
I love that. That's so true. Like, being kind just flows through, and you nailed it, honey. Like, that is, you know, monkey see, monkey do. I'm not calling kids monkeys, but when they see their inspirational, you know, the person that they put up there to guide them, they're gonna follow that. So yeah, just love one another, be kind, and you know, the more love you give, the more they can receive, and the more they feel good about themselves. So I'm really, really, really happy, and thank you so much for doing the work that you do, Maggie. And I'd love, you know what, in a few months' time, to get you back on and see how the other group is going. That would be amazing, because I can actually see, you know, this flowing on. Like, someone's got to take a look at this and go, hey, maybe we should do these guys a little bit more, you know, especially.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And let's just, now, can everyone see Miri and Ayana here? Hi, Ayana. Are you going to say hello?
Oh, she's got a mouthful of tomato. Kia ora.
Baby, nice to see you. Aren't you a lucky girl? Mwah. So, okay, super stoked. Thanks so much, Maggie. You've given me a lot to think of. I will say, like, after I met you a few weeks ago, I was, I went to bed every night just giving so many, you know, gratitude and blessings for what I have and what my children have. Like, I couldn't imagine my little girl going without a meal, or, you know, but that's the situation that some parents, it's just really freaking hard for them, no matter where they're at. You can't judge them either. You just don't know where people are at. So it's we're really blessed to have organisations like what you're doing to do with the kids, yeah? So thank you. Thanks so much for being on our event tonight. Love you heaps. Look forward to the future and what's going to be happening there. So Tracy B, I just want to touch a little bit, going out of that, I wanted to talk about gratitude, because that's been my biggest thing the last maybe 1 year. I've been really practicing gratitude, and I caught up with a friend last night for a drink, and she said to me, oh, you're always doing gratitude and la, la, la. And I said, look, I'm doing it, yeah, but it's hard. Like, having gratitude can be hard. I'm going to be honest. I am human, and you know, there's one thing I'm very diligent is that I write in my gratitude diary every single day. Actually, I've filled this one up. I'm now filling this one up. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes I don't see the good things in my life. Sometimes I might think that the whole world's against me and it just sucks. But it's times like these, especially when I spoke to Maggie a couple of weeks ago, it was like, damn, Trace, like, seriously, life is good. You have healthy children, you have a home, you know, you have clothes, you have a washing machine to wash your clothes, you have good food, you have nutrition, you have the internet, you have a phone, you have money in the bank. And it's those things that, you know, that we take for granted a lot of the time. And those are things that a lot of the world actually don't have, those things that make life comfortable. And so I write in my diary every single day. I give thanks every single day. And when I eat, I always give thanks. I think my nana taught me that. Yeah, we always did the prayer to thank Mother Earth for what we've got. And it's definitely helped me appreciate my life and where I'm at today. So I wanted to share with you guys just a couple of things, how I practice gratitude, and everybody's different. But what's helped me is that, my gratitude diary. Nutrition is a massive part for me. Like, nutrition actually helps me function better. It helps my brain. It helps my eyesight. It helps me move. It helps my heart. It helps everything, right? These are all the gratitude things I write every day. When I go, okay, I'm going to be gratitude for my body today, I list all the things that just happen without me even thinking about it. And we're so blessed, right? Because there's people out there who don't have the function, who cannot speak, who want to speak, and maybe they don't have a voice, who cannot see. Imagine not seeing. Could you imagine? Imagine not hearing. Imagine not being able to see Maggie and the work she's doing, you know, or hear what she's doing, or hear or see Miri's smoothie. Imagine that. So those are the things that I give a lot of gratitude for. So gratitude's massive. And so nutrition is a good thing because that helps you function better. Yeah, nutrition is a biggie. I wrote a list here. I drink lots of herbal tea because that also helps my nutrition. I'm really big, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I'm a real Nazi about what goes into my body, because my body is my temple, and that is what helps me think the way I do and give the love that I can. So I'm really big on that. What else did I want to say? I meditate. Meditation has been such a savior for me, and I'll tell you why. Because before meditation, I was one crazy lady. I seriously was, and especially around that time, women, you know, that time, it was like, don't touch me. And like, you know what? Like, my partner could make me the wrong cup of tea, and I thought it was the end of the world. And I was real crazy. And so I practice meditation as much as I can now. And those times that used to make me crazy, I'm more aware because I'm in peace with myself. Not all the time. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still crazy, but it's less. And there's more awareness there. So I practice meditation. And what I will do is, it's called onegiantmind.com. It's a beautiful meditation of 12 days, and you can set it to wherever you want. He plays some beautiful music, and at the end of every meditation, he goes through little videos. So you might be like, oh my gosh, I couldn't stop thinking about this, or this happened, or this came into my meditation. And he takes you through videos on explaining, you know, why that may have been. But also that meditation isn't all about just being one with the mind. Like, it takes years and years and years and years of practice, but you have to start somewhere. So if you're looking, or you want to look at One Giant Mind meditation, check it out. It's great for beginners. I've referred lots of my clients and my customers there, and they rave about it. So it's called One Giant Mind. Check that out. You know, if I find myself stressed out, I used to just call a friend, and thank goodness my partner's a really good listener. So, you know, talk to a friend if you're feeling stressed out, and put them in your gratitude diary when you do talk to them as well. I think that's super important. So, that's kind of all I wanted to cover tonight, just how grateful I am. Like, seriously, this event has been something that has been so close to my heart for so long, and I just didn't know how to pull it together, but I knew it would just happen one day, and then it all fell into place. And so I'm really, really grateful to the universe for just kind of, you know, making it happen. And every person that comes on here, thank you to Miri, who's been my awesome sidekick. She's so much fun, and I seriously couldn't have done it without you, babe. Thank you so, so much. And that's my gratitude for tonight. And so I want to thank again, Maggie, you're awesome. Good luck. We'll see you soon. Hannah, thanks for introducing me to Maggie. You're awesome. And Miri girl, fist bump. I love you. I love you so much. Thanks heaps for tuning in. My name's Tracy B. We're going to finish off with a karakia. I'm going to get it right this time. Okay? And then you guys can go and do what you do. We're going to be back here in 2 weeks' time, same place. Watch the Whanau Freedom page for updates, and we'll go from there. So just bow your head. Aoetearoa mana ki te mamātou I tēnei pō, homai ki a mātou te kaha me te kororea ake ake, amene. I'll take you all off mute, and you all can say bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Marie. Ka kite.
Thanks, guys.